I was born 4 months premature, 2 pounds 15 ounces, basically fit in the size of a man's hand. There was a battle that I had to face in terms of even survival. And what that's left for me is what is known as cerebral palsy. For me, it's actually just a mild condition, and it affects my gait in terms of my balance and as well as the way that I walk. I would say that if you look around you, for the most part, people are self-absorbed. I think that it's not really a fault of our own, it's just everyone gets locked into what's important for them. And so it's very easy to get so locked into your routines, so locked into your goal setting and whatever is so important to you that you forget about the world around you. And I think that the challenge is to recognize that in every day and every moment, there's an opportunity to be part of change for the better, right? So every person has a voice, every person has a space where they operate, that they've got influence. I can already relate to the idea of a miracle because I know that I'm definitely here for a purpose, I'm here for a reason, and I've been able to see that in other people, that I kind of recognize that, you know what, there's always a journey whenever you meet somebody. So what you see on the surface is never the truth about someone. There's always a story, there's a journey, and there's a miracle there if we'll just look for it. And so I believe that everyone's a miracle. It starts with my faith in God. It's rooted in my amazing relationship with family and friends. And I think that when you've been blessed with such great relationships upward and as well as across, so like the people that you relate to every day, whether it's coworkers, family, friends, you recognize that everyone deserves that. And so for me, it's to take the opportunity to introduce people to love and to good vibes and to opportunities and to the better sides of themselves that they may have never recognized, and being that voice of like, you know what, dude, you got that sauce about you that no one has been able to recognize, but I'm pointing it out to you. I feel like the impact of that is felt almost instantaneously. I draw from the pain of my past, from the experiences of my friends and family, the things that I've personally been through. I also look to scripture and to the things that have really informed my faith and that have been my strength, my foundation. And I'm really passionate about pulling out the best in people. I feel that everyone is a miracle. Everyone has giftings, talents, abilities, and skills that have yet to be mined out. And I feel like I've been given the ability to awaken you to the best parts of yourself. And so whether I do it with a smile or through a written word or through a joke, whatever it is, the main and end goal is to open up your eyes to the best that you have. And so by choosing to connect with me, you basically get to grow with me, and there's always going to be transparency, there's always going to be truth, and there's always going to be a desire to help you be the best person that you can be.
Welcome to It's Your Time with your boy Sammy. Always a pleasure having you. I'm super excited about my guest today. I've got my boy Chop. He's a comedian, he's an athlete, he's an actor, and he's just a person that knows how to bring good vibes into every setting that he goes into. He hails from Toronto. He'll talk more about where he reps from, and he's done so much, but there's a man behind the amazing things that he's doing, and I really want to sit down and kind of take away the veil and introduce you to a bit about his journey and help you get some insight and some motivation from Chop's journey. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Man, I'm just loving all the exposure that you're getting finally for your amazing comedy. Like, I've always known you to be a hilarious guy, a person that brings positivity and good vibes wherever you go. So why don't you tell us a bit about how you got into comedy and what makes comedy so appealing for you?
Well, for me personally, I was always a class clown, growing up. But my dream was to play football. That was like the main thing, right?
Okay.
And throughout high school, I never really got a chance to play. And like every time I would try out, I would never make the team, right? So a lot of people make fun of me and all that type of stuff. And then in grade 12, I had an I had an opportunity to do so.
Okay.
And I just got injured, and I couldn't really play, but I wanted to play, but coaches even said like we weren't gonna really put you on.
So basically, you said that the major focus was football. When did you start to develop a love for football? Has it always been there as a kid, or was it just kind of picked it up as a teenager?
I picked it up as a teenager, like around grade 10. My favorite team were the Steelers, and I saw them play at the Super Bowl because I was a huge Troy Polamalu fan. Yeah. And pretty much, yeah, from there, I just loved football. I wanted to play it. I was, researching it.
Sold. It was like,
that was it.
Happen.
And ever since then,
what position did you think you'd be playing?
I used to play wide receiver.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me. But I like DB. I was a defensive back as well. I just like the whole game. So regardless for me, it's QB, receiver, anywhere.
You just knew that, listen, football's the focus and it's going to happen. Yeah. So let's walk me through what grade 12 was like. So you said that you finally got onto the team and then you got injured.
Yeah, so I got on. I was talking to my offensive coordinator. I said, hey, it's my last year. I really want to play receiver, and I think this would be a good opportunity for me. So he said, okay, cool. We'll go over the details and everything. So I started playing around, and then tryouts came, and the original tryouts, they put me as like maybe a practice squad or whatever. Okay. And that same time I got injured. Basically, I was just playing around with a bunch of friends outside of school, and I hurt my knee. And it wasn't something that was major. It was just something that was minor, but I couldn't play.
Okay, so it had nothing to do with something on the field. It was like just...
Well, I did get injured on the field, but that was a little bit later on. Okay. But yeah, so because of that, the coach was just like, I don't know if this is like, a right fit for you. So I decided, I said, you know what, I might as well become a team manager. So I wanted to be around the football, like environment and everything. So I was everything. I was like the equipment manager, the photographer, like everything. Like I was doing.
So you got to still travel with the team, go to all the games, be involved in practices, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, but deep down inside, like I always saw like all the starting guys, like playing. I just one day I just wished that was me.
Okay. So you were like, okay, let's forget the noise. You still knew that I'm not playing right now. You love people. It's such a big part of who you are. I've never seen any kind of negativity come out of you, and even when negativity comes towards you, you find a way to flip it and still turn it into a joke. Not everyone has that ability, right? And so I already see a leader within you, and it's something that really is contagious. Now, in terms of your comedic journey, I know that you are creative and that you have all these different spaces that you flow in. What would you say the next 5 years looks like for you?
It's funny you say that because I gave myself 3 years from now. So from 3 years from now, if I'm not gonna go, North America wide, I definitely want to go Canada wide. Yes. I think that my name will be somewhere like Toronto will know who I am. Like I will be that guy. Mississauga will know where I am. Hamilton, So that is the journey right now that I'm on. I just want to be able to expose myself to as many people as I can. I am traveling right now to the States, so I'm trying to talk to people there and try to expose myself down there so I can get maximum exposure. In terms of 5 years, I definitely think that at least 2 of my movies are going to be out that I'm writing on currently. And I have 6 actually now TV series that I'm writing. So one TV series is definitely going to get picked up. It should be able to get in there, and just be the face of, just be a public speaker. My whole thing is to motivate and to make people laugh. I want to educate you and make you laugh at the same time. And if I can do that Dave Chappelle style, then it's going to happen.
The other thing that we were talking about earlier is that even though you're so busy with all these different ventures, you're still working with kids in the community, and that you're now coaching and doing all sorts of things in terms of helping and giving back. Now, what is it that motivates you to want to do that, despite the fact that your whole day is pretty much already planned for on a day-to-day basis?
I think what people don't realize being in my industry is that a lot of people want to get exposure and they want to do all these things, but they do it for the wrong reason. They do it for either fame or money. Right. Don't get me wrong, fame is definitely good. Important. Money is important. It's you need to live with it, right? But you got to maneuver your way around it. Once you realize that those things are not what you're chasing after, then you'll be successful. My thing is to make an impact, regardless if it's kids who are 3-4-year-olds to senior citizens who are 60 years old. I think that through my energy, through my motivation, through my comedy, and all the messages that I have related, I want to be able to expose that message to as many people as I can and to make a difference, right? There's a lot of people that go through a lot of stuff that we don't know, right? And somebody could be on the verge of suicide, you know? And it just takes one joke from a comedian or something to enlighten their day, or say something that's relatable. And I think that's what keeps me going, is because I always try to look at the best in everybody else, right? And there are some people who are just toxic, and unfortunately you can't change that because that's just who they are. But if you can just maybe hint a little bit of motivation, a little bit of happiness, that might stick onto them. Because like you said, it's contagious, right?
Very cool, and that's honestly what's kept us connected, because I feel like, you know, what is it that I do and what you do is very similar. One thing I will say is that you've also managed to find a way to connect to audiences with all walks of life, right? Where it's not like, oh, it's just one segment of people that can vibe with your stuff. It doesn't matter what stage you're at in terms of your journey, you can find a way to laugh with the content that you're putting out. Now, why would you say you don't necessarily need to get so caught up in what it is that you get from social media? Because when you're putting stuff out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and all these spaces, you do get a lot of love, but at the same time you get a lot of backlash, right? And then you've got people who also feel extra confident behind their keyboards. So how do you navigate these different types of reactions and responses to your content?
Honestly, I think any exposure is good exposure. Regardless if someone is hating on me or not, it is what it is. Like just the other day, when I was posting on my Instagram story about my kids, I was like, hey, you know, my kids are looking good. Friday, there's a game on Friday, pull up. This guy goes, he goes, what is that, junior league, right? He's laughing, and I'm just like, this guy I went to high school with, and I said, I'm like, yeah, it's varsity high school.
Yes.
And he goes, oh, so you're coaching now? And he's trying to make a laugh. You know anything about football? And I just didn't say anything. I said, you know what? At the end of the day, you're still watching my stuff.
That's right.
You know
You're still engaging with the content.
Thank you so much. So to me, it's I don't get mad over it, because why? Because you're still watching me, you're still giving me exposure, and then the next video I put out, oh, this guy's this guy's that, oh, that was stupid, whatever. But you're still watching it, and it's gonna come across where you might be going through depression, or you might be going through something, and that one video changes your life, because I'm talking about, you know, loving each other, and I'm talking about positive vibes, and or I maybe just, you know, as a joke with my comedy, I just fought somebody, something, you know, you just thought it was hilarious and you laughed, and all that negative energy, now you're a fan, right?
That's amazing. And one thing I did really want to touch on is the fact that comedy and things of that nature actually have healing power.
100%.
I think that we've all been at a place where it's like, all you needed was that one thing to make you laugh that could shift your day. It doesn't matter what it is that you're going through. As soon as you come into contact with that thing, it's like, okay, now I have that extra push to move past whatever it is that's happening. Now, so I do want you to speak up to the people that might be struggling in their creative journey, and they're just like, you know what, I've been putting in all this time and all this energy, and I don't know if it's actually going to make a difference. And so they're really at this place where they're in like a hard and a rock place.
I think it's all about, you just gotta do what makes you happy, not about what anybody else thinks. I mean, that's when it really comes down to. If you want to play sports, you gotta love to play sports. You don't gotta do it because you want to do it, right? Because somebody else is telling you, or whatever the case may be. With my comedy, it's the same thing. I don't do it to see, oh, how many people are gonna laugh. I just do it because it makes me feel happy, right? So if you're on that edge where it's like, oh, things might not happen, you know what? You just have to like kind of just take a step back and say, hey, look at go on YouTube and look at famous failures. You know, Oprah Winfrey got fired when she was 23. You know, like there's so much stuff. Like Walt Disney was told that he's not a creative. His mind is not creative, right? Like you look at all this different things, and that should motivate you, right? Because life is not like at 23. Some people might be successful, okay. Some people might be married, and unfortunately, some people might be dead. Right?
Journey, yeah.
So if you're still alive, you still have another chance, right? I always say that, and sometimes you say, oh, well, Chop, I don't know, like, I've been doing this for like 2 or 3 years. You know what? Your success, like Messi, for example, Lionel Messi, he was playing soccer for 17 years. His fame didn't come until after 17 years.
Unreal. Can you imagine 17 years of going ham?
And no one really giving you a shot, and then maybe give you a shot here, but then they release you. Oh, you know, you go home with your mom, look, I made it, you know, semi-pro, cool. Second day, they're like, yeah, we don't want you, right? So life is just one big journey, and I think that if you're still alive, you still got ways to go. So I came across this quote, and this literally changed my life. We always hear about motivational quotes, you know, just do it, like this and that. But this quote really changed my life, and I actually have this on a banner in my room, and I look at it every single time. I feel like right now I'm more confident now, but every time that I felt like, you know,
just an extra bit of encouragement.
But every time I felt like quitting, I just look at this quote, and I want like people to like actually really, really hear this out. It says, "Don't quit. But if you do, that's okay. Just grab some popcorn and watch the people who didn't." Right? Because we all start at the same time. If you realistically look at it, people who want to start like their real estate business or their car salesman or you know, entrepreneurs or comedians or actors, everybody starts on the same level, which is the start. Like you have an idea, you want to go with it. But there's some people who halfway through the race stop. Some people keep going. So the people who make it to the finish line is all the trial, tribulations, obstacles, right? Different paths to choose, the right, left, maybe it's a wrong path, right path, whatever. But eventually they get to where they need to get. But the people who quit, you have to understand that you're going to be watching the same people you started that race with.
And that comes back to the fact that life is a marathon, it's not a sprint.
It's not a sprint.
You might have a couple bad days. You might have a couple days where nothing makes sense. But when you understand that, yo, it's a marathon, and I can get that second wing and I can keep going, there's nothing you can't do. All right, Chop, so if someone wants to watch your content and start following your pages and really vibe with what it is you're doing, how do they connect with you?
Instagram. I try to get back to people as soon as possible. My DMs are kind of flooded right now because I work with a lot of people in the States and Canada too. So we're going to be launching, me and my team, we're going to be doing short films. So a little bit away from comedy, but you know, I want to reach out to the people about like, you know, sexual harassment, domestic violence.
Okay, so just different topics that are really in the culture right now that really need to be talked about.
They need to be, and people like side away from it. No, we gotta talk about it. You know, this is happening in real life, and we gotta find a way to empower children, youth, and women. You know, I think that's something a lot of people don't talk about or
they shy away from it. Okay.
And I'll be more, and people can say whatever, but I'll be the first to start doing that. I have a lot of lady bosses on my team, makeup artists, actresses.
Very cool.
Right? So I'm definitely willing to get them to get all the women's club or, you know, inspired children and whatever the case may be.
Okay. And so when they reach out to you on Instagram, what's your Instagram handle?
It's Chop Skits, so CHOP_SKITS.
Okay. And people can reach out to you in terms of booking you, or they can also reach out in terms of the content, and if they have any ideas or things that they want to do in terms
whatever,
of
I'm open
with you, you're open to have the conversation.
I'm open to everything, and if someone wants to talk to, like just, hey, I'm going through this, I'll try my best to, you know, encourage you, give you a video, make you laugh, whatever. And make this world a better place one step at a time.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming and being on the show. I'm so happy to hear your journey, and we're rooting for you. Very excited. I know that, like you said, honestly, the sky's the limit. We're looking out for new content, and I'm hoping to have you back on the show, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.